the interstate. There's a sense of brotherhood and freedom that goes with motorcycling that you just can't get with anything else. And you don't have to be a part of a club to get that. I'm sure you've seen it before, driving down the road and seeing two motorcycles approach each other. They'll both put their arms out, stretched out to the ground. It's what's known in the motorcycle community as the wave. It's a sign of respect to other riders. Today I would like to discuss some of the topics with motorcycling, and these include learning to ride, choosing the right bike, why I chose my bike, choosing the right gear, and being cautious. To start with, I want to talk about learning to ride. In the state of Texas, you're required to take the Motor Safety Foundation course. According to Section 521.148 of the Texas Transportation Code, an applicant for a Class M license must furnish proof to the department that the applicant has successfully completed a motorcycle operator training course. The course is a good course for everybody, whether you're a new rider or an experienced rider. You'll spend 8 hours over 2 days, 5 days of actual riding time, and 3 hours of classroom time. During that time, you'll go over low-speed maneuvers such as being able to avoid obstacles, being able to go over obstacles, being able to stop quickly, and be able to take curves properly. Overall, it's a really great course, and it is required by law now to get your motorcycle license. Now keep in mind that this course will not prepare you for everything. It is a low-speed course, so as far as things like driving down the interstate, you're not going to get that here. Also, once you finish the course, you have to take 3 tests. You'll take a riding test and a written test at the course, and then after doing that, you'll have to go take a test with the Department of Public Safety. After completing all 3 of these tests and passing the course, then you're able to get your motorcycle license. Now, once you get your motorcycle license, the next thing for you to do in learning to ride is to practice. The only way you're going to get better at riding a motorcycle is to actually get out there and ride it. Next, I want to talk about choosing the right bike. It doesn't matter if you're a new rider or you've been riding for 20 years. Choosing the right bike is very important. In a quote from Dennis Chung at motorcycle.com, not all types are appropriate for all riders. However, a shorter rider may have no problem with sport bike aerodynamics, for example, but may have a hard time perched on top of a dual sport. That's not to say that the rider should limit themselves for certain motorcycles because of physical considerations, but it's sometimes important to keep in mind. Size matters when it comes to motorcycles. Some bikes are tall, some bikes are short, some bikes are heavy, some bikes are light. Really, you just have to find the perfect Goldilocks bike for you. It's the one that fits you just right. Next, you have to determine what style of bike you want. Are you wanting a sport bike, a cruiser bike, an adventure bike, a dual-purpose bike? And along with that, you need to decide what style of riding you want to do. Are you wanting to do just weekend riding, or you want to use your bike for your daily transportation? All of this is factors that you need to take in when considering what bike you want. Here, I've included some bikes that probably wouldn't make good first bikes for most people. You have a chopper bike, a large touring bike, a V8 bike, a hardtail bobber, and then a super sport Yamaha R1. While these bikes are really cool, they're going to be a little more than what a first-time rider should use. In fact, some of them may be a little more than what experienced riders can really handle. So it's definitely something you need to consider. Next, I want to talk about the bike that I chose. Last week, I went and bought a new bike. I was riding a Honda Shadow VT1100C, and that bike worked pretty well for me, but I wanted something that was better for getting around town in. So this bike was perfect for me. It's lightweight for a cruiser, it has a slim frame, it has plenty of passing and taking off power. Also, it's the right bike for me. Now, it's not going to be the right bike for everybody, and not everybody's going to like it, but once again, it's the one that works for me. And that's what you need to consider when picking the bike, is finding the one that fits you. Next, I want to talk about choosing the right gear. This can be just as important as choosing the right bike. First, we need to discuss helmets. Helmets are kind of required in Texas, but at the same time they're kind of not. The law states that you're required to wear a helmet, but then it offers 2 exemptions. And it was back on June 19th of 2009 that Governor Perry signed the law, Senate Bill 1967 of the 81st legislature session, into effect. Basically what this law stated was, for you not to wear a helmet, you either had to have health insurance or you had to have completed the MSF course. which now that the MSF course is required for a license, basically Texas has become a no helmet required state. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't wear one. Also, some other good gear are gloves, jacket, boots, and pants. All of this stuff is optional, but they're good things to have. They can help protect you in the event of a wreck. Now I would like to give you a statistic. In 2014, 62% of fatally injured motorcycle drivers were helmeted. Helmet use was lower at 53% for people killed as passengers on motorcycles. This comes from the Insurance Institute for Highways. Now, what this means is that you can have all the right gear, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be safe. It is definitely something to consider. Next, I want to talk about being cautious. Something you need to know about riding a motorcycle is people will pull out in front of you. Practicing and taking the course and being prepared is really the best thing that you can do to combat this. Just remembering everything that you learned in the MSF course. Another thing is, don't be scared. Yes, people will pull out in front of you. Yes, you will drop your bike at some point. But being scared can only make these things worse. Also, riding will make you a better driver. You'll be more aware of your surroundings and what's going on around you. In conclusion, riding is not for everyone. But for the people that it is for, they really do enjoy it, and it just brings a great feeling to them. And I want to leave you with a popular saying amongst motorcycle riders: keep the saddle side up. Thank you.